just smiling big at everybody. 2 more blocks and I'll be at your door. Overcome, brother, nothing keeps me melancholy. Spread my wings, so damn ready to soar. And there couldn't be a better taste after everything I faced. I send a little luck my way, send a little bright sun ray to hit my skin. Dream that I cannot erase, keep it in a little case. Oh. Truth be told is I've never felt better. And if I'm honest with myself, I am so glad we're together. Because this new state of mind that I've struggled to find can now be shared with you, because you showed me the light.
Uncle Fred, how are you?
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Okay, I'm doing well. I'm filming our conversation. How are you, buddy?
Oh, just enjoying a Sunday.
You are? You're wearing AMG.
Of course. Got to.
Fred, I want to thank you for sending down your 2 beautiful cars. They're amazing. I love them, even though one is a family car, the other one is a sports car. But BAT loves them, so they said yes to both.
Great. Nice to hear.
Good to hear. So I wanted to start off by take us back to your youth. Tell us who you are, your love for cars, what you've done in your life, so we can know who you are.
German cars, specifically Mercedes, since 1980 was the first Mercedes that my family and I got. It was a 1980 300D. And but the family in Germany had been involved with both BMW and Mercedes from back in the 1930s. So it goes way, 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 way back. So I had a chance in the early 80s to head to Germany. Lucky opportunity. One of the relatives had a racing team, which was involved with the ETC and the ITC championships at that time in Germany. If you remember, Germany was in 2 pieces then. It was still East and West. So this all occurred in the Stuttgart area, and spent quite a bit of time in the F Alterbach, which was where AMG was founded by Erhard Werner Alfakt, and I think I'm getting the names right, and his partner, and that was the A, and the M Melcher was the other partner, and then the G was the town that he was originally born in. So that's how AMG got started. I was around AMG teams at that time through the mid 80s, and it was a tremendous lot of fun for a young guy to be playing around in Germany.
Beautiful. And what do you do for a living, or have done?
Well, I own a company that remanufactures restaurant equipment for chains and large facilities like Disney, and but I've never stopped being around cars ever since, between working with them as a consultant, I guess you'd say, for friends looking to get into some pretty nice cars. Because I do have a little bit of a background, a lot of connections throughout the country and in Germany. And I've been able to kind of keep my fingers in the game in racing, because I was able to race a bit in Germany. So I did some racing through the 1990s, and it was a lot of fun. But you get older and you can't do that stuff anymore. So I just enjoy being around the cars and helping people understand what these cars are like and how to take good care of them.
Nice. Starting with this SL600, tell me why you bought it and what you love about it, what you've done with it.
This is the heartbreak for me, but I bought this car because I've always wanted a 12-cylinder Mercedes. I've been around every engine type, from the 4s, 6s, 8s over the years, but never had a 12, and had an opportunity to get this 12 from a couple of enthusiasts that owned it, and they had about 17 cars, and this was just an extra car they had that had been sitting in there, which is a beautiful, beautiful garage, for several years, and I had the chance to grab it and bring it into the fold, shall we say. I was able then to take it, and when things sit, we talk about this when I've made comments on BAT before, when things sit, it's not a good thing. So we had some things we had to correct. These are complicated cars, but this one had been extremely well maintained. And the reason why I bought it was we had records on this car from the first day it was originally sold in British Columbia. It was Canadian North American vintage car. And it was one of the very first ones to be brought into Canada. It was one of the very few that was ever sold in British Columbia. So it was well maintained, solid records. We've got like 2 inches of records on that car. And so that's what made me confident to say it was worth getting. So got it, took it in, put some work into it, had to replace some things that had to go to Germany to get replaced. So it took a bit of time, but I got it just about right. Just about in time for me to find out that I had to have back surgery and I'm not going to be able to sit in this car again. So it's bittersweet, but I wanted to make sure the car was perfect, and it is now for somebody to buy.
Great. What do you know about its history for you? There were some things done to it before you from the previous owner?
Oh, like I said, you have the records that were sent to you. I've never seen this level of records. I mean, right down from the initial car card all the way on through to, I think there's probably 70 different records in that file, which we have all neatly. I'm pretty anal, folks. So it was I have it in a file. And it was extremely well trained. Everything from, it has the suspension system modifications that had been made over the years. We just recently, as part of our work to it, we replaced the roof controller, we replaced some window controllers, and I had to completely rebuild the entire front dash system. We kept everything like the odometer exactly the way it was, but we had to send that to Germany to be rebuilt because there wasn't anybody that knew how to work on it here in the U.S. So everything is running exactly the way it should, and that's why the money was spent. And more importantly, the exterior on this car, and you know this by seeing it, the car had been in a sandstorm in Palm Springs, which is where it was being kept for all those years. Nice dry climate. Unfortunately, they were in a sandstorm one day, so that required, I think it was a $14,000 or $15,000 complete repaint to the car, replacement of the windshield, the headlights, all the rubber, anything that was on the exterior of that car. The wheels were even refinished, new tires, and was done under the insurance to make it back to the way it was, because these guys were not going to accept it any other way. So you're basically getting a car that has all the things would normally maybe get a little crusty at this point, are not. And in fact, we even have the extra headlights and other parts there are going to be sitting in the trunk when you wind up getting this car.
Who would you like to see these cars go to?
I absolutely would love to see this go to an enthusiast. The unique thing about the 12-cylinder car, the 129, is this was bought in Canada, so it has all the kilometers. It's all designed for that. So when you see the mileage numbers, don't get confused. Those are the kilometers of the total miles, and then there's the regular U.S. miles on it. But it would be something that could be taken anywhere in the world. You can take it to Germany, you can take it to Portugal, anywhere you want to, and certainly here in the U.S. because it passed all emissions codes on it, which is great. It just feels a little different. I think you noticed that, Alan. They run a little better for some reason. I don't know why. I can't tell you, but it really drives very beautifully smooth and fast.
Yes,
so somebody that would appreciate a really, really extremely well-maintained 12-cylinder is what I want. As a person, I want it to go to. And again, that being said, person that appreciates records. On BAT, I always talk about records when I'm talking about Mercedes cars. This one's got records. And so I think from that standpoint, an enthusiast would be fine.
And you have a good rep.
Well, that just goes without saying, folks. The reason why I give it to Alec, wouldn't trust it anybody else. And in fact, Dean Lombach, who's back there in New York, just said he wouldn't trust anybody but Alex either.